economic and political policies. And even now, we see their companies like LG, Samsung, Hyundai, they are dominating the global market. So my question, my observation in Bangladesh, that in that sector is that companies like Walton or Marcel, they are trying to follow the same. But because of the competition from the other companies, from the foreign companies, they are not able to do the same like the South Korean companies did in the 60s. So do you think that is some kind of a quota system for that kind in Bangladesh for to protect these companies in Bangladesh at first and then support them globally could help Bangladesh in this matter?
Yeah, what the development pattern has been in South Asia and also in Japan was to first have fierce competition in the domestic market and then see some companies growing and then support those companies to conquer the global markets. And so that's a very successful policy. It means that industrial policy can work. If people tell you that you should just leave everything to the market and then you will have an efficient solution, don't believe it, because all richer countries had these kind of policies. But I think what was ultimately the trick in South Korea, that every time that they were supporting an industry, there was also an exit strategy. And if it was running out of steam, they were looking at other opportunities and trying to upgrade. And so you need that flexibility, and you need to be able at some point to go against the vested interests that have developed because of your own support. And so that is ultimately the solution. I would argue that it's a problem not just for poorer countries. We often talk about the middle income trap. Look at Japan, yeah? Japan was incredibly successful in the 60s and the 70s, conquering the global markets with industries. And then they run out of steam because they couldn't catch up to the state-of-the-art technologies anymore, because they were the state-of-the-art technologies, and they had increased their market share so much that it was difficult to continue to grow fast. They had to look for something else. That was there in the services sector. They didn't want to touch that. They didn't want to open up the services sector, and it became it remained very unproductive. And as a result of that, the promises of Japan never really materialized. So industrial policies are good. Focus on education, as South Asia did, is incredibly important. Let at the same time markets function, have a rule of law, make sure that the deals that are made are obeyed to. That is all important, but I think the most important argument is that at some point you have to turn yourself and those are the
Thank you. I can take the final three questions.